Ziggies Boutique, where the fashions are right. Ziggies Boutique, and that's right. Ziggies Boutique, where the prices are right. Ziggies Boutique, and that's right. Ziggies Boutique, where the prices are right. Ziggies Boutique, and that's right. Ziggies Boutique, for tops and swimwear, dresses are priced so right. Ziggies Boutique, where the prices are right. Ziggies Boutique, won't you?
And welcome to the Oddity Archive, the show that isn't afraid to tackle raw, unabashed, vapid consumerism. So much so that it runs and talks over cheap and often pretty esoteric local TV commercials. Yeah, I admit it might not be the greatest plan in the world, but anyway... yes, as implied, I have finally, at long last, managed to accrue, I think, a worthy new batch of local TV commercials. Only took me almost 4 years. But anyway, I think it was worth the wait. I think I've got some good ones for you here. And so, without further ado, let's kick things off with our now quite traditional block of furniture and just home improvement related ads. And just in this first block alone, we're going to see an ad featuring country singer Mel Tillis shilling for a rather unfortunately named chain of furniture stores. And admittedly, this at its peak was a pretty decent sized chain, but this particular ad is just geared towards Tampa, Florida, so I think it counts. Otherwise, we've got one from Chicago, because Oddity Archive, and it's appropriate this time around, though, because this one features a pretty stereotypical and probably actual mobster basically trying to threaten you into getting new windows. And best of all, this episode marks the long-awaited return of our unofficial mascot. Granted, at this point, a very booze-bloated and well past his prime unofficial mascot, but still.
Maxi bedroom here. That's maximum bedroom.
Legally, he couldn't say max headroom anymore.
Maximum deal. Here's the deal. Pay for this. Get this free, this free, this free. Nothing's free, you say? Wrong.
Well, 50% of their beds were indeed made strictly for altruistic purposes.
Bed. In fact, you get a second bed free when you buy any bookcase bed. 2 beds for the price, low price that is, of 1 bed. That makes sense to me, since if you don't sleep on water, well, you certainly should.
Said the computer.
Oh boy, night-night.
What a freaking nerd.
I'll take this. Ooh, I really like this, but will it fit?
Why, I'm a decorator, and of course it'll work, darling.
Your invoice, sir. Wow!
Somebody was sniffing the polyurethane.
Don't sell your soul for great-looking office furniture. The Warehouse has got it in stock. St. Louis's largest selection of new and used office furniture.
Mostly red. Yeah, we're run by the devil, too.
Hey, Warehouse of Fixtures, from backroom to boardroom, where smart business starts and sharp business grows.
So, no actual fixtures are sold here. Lovely.
Homeowners, before you spend a single penny to repaint your house again, learn all about the miracle new...
From the Bargain Bernie School of Chroma Key, I see.
Available for the first time in this area, low-cost Flexon 701. The 15-year paint job that's power sprayed to give your home a coat of beauty and insulation up to 20 times thicker than ordinary paint.
That's right, it's actually cake frosting.
No one right now. Call this toll-free number. 800-821-7700. 800-821-7700.
Yeah. Damn thing backed up again. Oh, hey, cream cheese.
You've selected the finest replacement window that money can buy. These people know what they want. Why?
Because they value their kneecaps?
Sent for this free book. It's got all the questions.
The entire book is one sentence. Quote, "It'd be a shame if something happened to your home." Unquote.
But one that's called 583-4855, and I'll send you this book. Better yet, I'll bring it myself. We'll get serious together.
He'll deliver it tied to a brick at 2 a.m., won't he?
5, Super Sash.
Thanks for your business. Their contraction prices are an overripe banana. A sound you will never hear after one of my jokes. Okay, they're just setting you up for how they'll greet you if you're dumb enough to visit their store, aren't they? I just realized that's an old gas station. Nitrous, of course.
I've been telling you folks about furnishings for every room of your home at Badcock.
Sounds like Mel traded in his stutter for malaprops.
Carpeted. It looks good, and it feels so good to your toes. Old Mullet, he says it's almost as good as his recliner.
Leave me out of this, Mel.
A great selection of area rugs and vinyl floor coverings.
Somewhere Lionel Richie was inspired.
Takes a beating. I wonder how they do that.
Wait, it's really called Badcock? So, no love seats then? This next block of ads is for something that's very near and dear to my Blackened Heart. AV gear. Now, of course, AV stuff in general does tend to be at least somewhat of a nerd thing, so I guess it shouldn't come as any shock that, for one, these ads are all pretty corny, but all but one of them feature impressions, at times pretty awful impressions, but yeah, impressions of various celebrities, or maybe their best-known characters. But yeah, I bet you never thought you'd ever see Prince trying to sell you an answering machine.
Hi, call this number, 288-5252. And let
okay,
Payless tell you about their Payless rent to buy plan. And ask about their fine selection of TVs with or without remote control.
You know, I thought my name was Remote Control until I was 7.
Offer an 8-track tape and recorders. Or
Is that a Nipco disc on the right there? How long has this junk been sitting here? Or was that just an ugly turntable?
288-5252.
And if you ain't got a leisure suit on, don't bother.
And now, the Stereo Warehouse on the Gulf Freeway presents the audio-video Prince!
Okay, Morris Day has gone too far this time.
Stereo Warehouse like this. A telephone answering machine.
Oh, right, that's my name.
Here's another Prince of a deal. Compact Laserdisc.
Well, they're technically right.
Deal.
I sincerely want to make this deal to you. Car stereos just.
Install it for your nation, y'all.
Any other deal is no big deal.
I gotta get me one of them compact laser discs. That looks awesome.
Excuse me, I've heard that sound advice has gone...
Couldn't even get Jim Belushi, let alone John. We're stuck with Josh Belushi.
Well, how about this Kenwood amplifier and tuner right here? I've wanted these for a long time. What would they be at 10% over cost?
You don't want to know where he keeps the receipt paper.
But I don't have quite that much. Could you cut just a little bit off that?
Sound advice.
Well, actually, a well-placed dent from a katana will improve the signal-to-noise ratio by 1,000th of a dB.
Hey, dude, check out my movie studio. I don't mind showing you, nobody can rip this stuff off, I swear. These advanced dudes, man, they're like rocket scientists. Give me a heavy system for not too heavy bread.
The stereo is still worth more than the car, though.
The kisses. I could crank this baby till it wang chunks your earballs off and it won't go up in smoke.
Until after the warranty ends, at least.
But Def Leppard, you know. Besides, all them what's probably turned this baby into a ragtop.
As much as Cheech would like us to forget, we still remember his ill-fated pop culture reference spewing lily-white Canadian phase quite well.
You've been convicted of being thrown out of every store in town trying to get credit. Send him to the Beat Rental Firing Squad. Shoot him with some Swag Ingle credit.
Right into his veins.
And the Swag Ingle at the corner of Union Natural Bridge.
Stop! I'll send you! Yeah! It's Pee-wee Swag Ingle.
I think this ad is in English.
Pee-wee Loma Potatoes on TV! VCR!
I think they were hitting the ice cream soup before making this.
Credit's meant to do that.
Speaking in tongues. The last time I did local ads, I had a block of ads that just did not fit anywhere else, but they were just too good to not run, and I feared that I would never find enough of similar subject matter of each ad to ever give them their own proper segments. It happened again. So yeah, we're going to do the potpourri thing with this next block. And I guess this would be as good a time as any to mention that today's episode features 3 non-American ads. Actually, they're all Canadian, and they're all from Winnipeg, Manitoba. And you've actually already seen one of them in that last block. It was the one with the guy doing the Cheech Marin impression. But anyway, the first 2 ads in this next block are our remaining non-American ads. And these come to us by way, and this includes the one with the Cheech impersonator, from my good friend Ben, no relation, of classicalgasemissions.com. And he grew up in Winnipeg, Manitoba. And I am ever more convinced that that part of Canada is just some sort of weird extension of the upper Midwestern US. I mean, you could swear that the first 2 ads in this next block were really from North or South Dakota, or one of the smaller cities in Minnesota, like Duluth or Rochester or something.
The popularity of dancing cheek to cheek is back. Yes, people of all ages are getting into ballroom dancing. And why not? It's fun to swing.
I don't think anyone's ever accused that song of swinging.
Dance the cha-cha. Ken Matthews will show you how. And they have a special on now. We'll tell you about that later.
We're kind of hoping you'll forget about it. It's pretty underwhelming.
Learn the dance that has become the toast of New York. The passionate tango.
As opposed to the cold, sexless tango.
No time with expert instruction from Ken Matthews Dance Studio.
He's even got those long pieces of paper with the footprints on them. It's pretty cool.
Yes, ballroom dancing is a wonderful way to meet new friends.
Who are just as cold fish-like as you are.
And stay in shape. You'll get lots of exercise dancing the polka.
Which is apparently a standard ballroom dance, just slightly quicker.
Right now, you can get 5 dance lessons for only $25. Call 942-3292.
Nah, I think I'll just stay in the band. At least we usually get laid.
If you've ever considered joining Personal Encounters, now's your chance.
They're only open 1 week out of the year.
95, find out more about Personal Encounters, a discreet video introduction service.
All potential dates come in a plain brown wrapper.
Encounters, and now they're satisfied members. For the first time ever, Personal Encounters is presenting a special Get Acquainted offer. For just $14.95, you can find out what Personal Encounters is all about.
Data mining. They were way ahead of their time.
Services. Confidential compatibility profile.
To avoid any of those unfortunate IBM Amiga marriages.
Production rehearsal. Advanced viewing of members in your interested age group.
Oh, right. I'm shooting for a sugar mama. Because I'm so sick of being poor.
Acquainted with Personal Encounters this summer for only $14.95.
About $1.33 American.
Encounters is the most successful video introduction service available. In Winnipeg, 943-4389. In Brandon, 728-0369.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna get me one of them hot Brandon babes.
Remember the good old days? 40 years ago, this Frigidaire refrigerator sold for $399.95.
Bear in mind, this ad is from the early 80s.
Brothers. In fact, our low price on quality Frigidaire beats many off-brand model prices.
Why wait for these so-called 9-hour, 3-minute insanity sales on off-brands?
Well, because it's the American way, goddammit.
Brothers, everyday low price. At Slyman Brothers Appliances, the good old days are now.
Try us, you'll like us.
Well, it's better than their original slogan. Fuck around and find out.
Boy, you sure see everybody at Bob's 19-cent hamburgers. No matter how you get your kicks this summer, come as you are to Bob's.
No matter how fetishistic.
Surprised if there's someone more anxious than you, but any way you get there, a Bob's treat is worth the effort. Fantastic.
Bobbit, how do you disembody a hamburger?
Be determined. Don't let folks run over you on your way to Bob's.
I swear this is every amateur 8mm movie made between 1960 and 80.
Burger, drive right out. Like I say,
grammar ain't nothing but an arbitrary sentence construct.
For snacks or a full meal, you'll know what to do when you get a juicy Bob's treat in your hand.
Grab it.
Sorry, Satan got into the studio again.
Eugene, Springfield, Corvallis, and Salem.
Get the best food, fastest service, lowest prices, eat at Bob's.
Unless you're wearing scuba gear. And no, I will not bob it. I look terrible with a flapper's hairdo. Up next is our now customary block of car and car-related ads. And this is also where this episode starts to get a bit catchy. 2 out of the 6 ads in this next block, I'm just going to tell you right now, have some pretty diabolically catchy jingles. So much so that I'm going to go ahead and call these strong contenders for the next Top Earworms episode, which I'd say would be due in another 10 to 12 years.
Has your family car gotten too small for your family? Well, come to Metter Chrysler Plymouth.
And confront your metamphysomyophobia head on.
Like this Plymouth Turismo, for those families that are just starting out. Or the Chrysler LeBaron.
For those families who really dig engine fires.
For families that are expecting. Metter Chrysler.
Must be Catholic mimes.
And for almost every size family. Metter Chrysler Plymouth, 2 blocks south of I-30 on University, Fort Worth.
Texan mimes. What'll they think of next?
The 1970s are here.
Well, actually...
New, excitingly new Fords for 1970 at Kendall Ford.
Ford starts the 70s with the cars that freeze.
With the cars that freeze?
Get your keys.
Belinda Carlisle thinks this girl has no moves.
Auto show at Kendall Ford, 13th and Olive in Eugene, 7th and South Bay in Springfield. See the largest selection of 1970 Fords in the Emerald Empire.
All 2 cars.
Including this sparkling new Mustang for 1970.
Colored to perfectly match the tobacco juice that you'll be dribbling while behind the wheel.
Go and really swing. It's a going thing.
And this is our all-new 1970 LTD.
You really only need to see half of the front.
Ford's better ideas for 1970 now during our free auto show. See them now at Kendall Ford, Eugene, and Springfield, where you pocket the savings.
Yeah!
Actually, our kangaroo pockets the savings, and you have to fight it to get them.
Excuse me?
Yes, Miss Not Quite Carter.
Savings. That's right. Your own money. It's no miracle. Florida No Fault, the insurance professional. For over a decade.
What the hell does that have to do with insurance? Though I do, for one, approve of Wonder Woman's new outfit.
It's no fault of ours if you pay more. Call now for a free quote.
Oh, I will. Now, where's my phone? Oh, wait, I don't even live in Florida. Curses. Foiled again.
Welcome to Car City. Now this car has a lot of interesting options. This model has crushed velour interior. Energetic, isn't she?
If Benny Boy had a daughter. Yeah, kids make me want to intentionally bash my head on a car hood, too.
Hey, mister.
Your parents just left.
Those aren't my parents, mister. I want to trade my wagon for that car over there.
For the best in service and fair dealing, Car City, at the buckle of the belt.
Car City went under a year later, because that salesman seriously overestimated the market for used Power Wheels.
I'm here to tell you about one of the nicest things we do at Ally.
We don't jam drywall screws into your tires.
I want to tell you about a nice thing we do. What we do, we hand torque the lug nuts on the wheel when you buy the tires. We don't go, we hand torque all them nuts.
Nice and slow.
Say, if your nuts hadn't been hand torqued by Ally Discount Tire, your nuts might fall off. That ain't gonna go, is it, huh?
Over 30 locations,
won't admit that vehicle leprosy is a very real thing.
Have you heard the news going around today?
Sleazy P. Martini before he started dealing crack.
And that's a fact. On quality tires, I guarantee that. Michelin, Goodyear, Pirelli too.
Mercury's and Subarus. Wrong song.
Equipment too, to guarantee your car rides just like new. Courteous service, that's my game. Your satisfaction, that's our aim. For
the good old days when rappers still showed courtesy.
That's no lie.
I think somebody took his lug nuts and went. Today's final block of ads is short and sweet. There's only 4 ads in this block, and they're all 30 seconds apiece. And funnily enough, they're all for clothing and jewelry type stores. So a very common sort of local commercial that I find. And it's not like there weren't more in the running for this episode, but I guess anything more just seemed like, to borrow from Amadeus, too many notes.
Who would go around through an alley and come in the back door to save money on fine quality high fashion clothing at the Red Pencil Shop?
Presumably people who don't want to be seen shopping at the clearance outlet.
So would I. And so should you.
I was in the Starland vocal band a year ago.
Einbenders and the Honeybee affiliate stores. You'll find bargains like these famous maker slacks valued to $20 for only $8 at the Red Pencil Shop at Einbenders downtown.
So the discount is proportionate to the woman's lack of figure?
I don't want this 5 million plan. I want the 10 million plan.
10 million paper clips.
This meeting's adjourned.
Excuse me, sir. I would like to ask you, where did you get that suit?
Didn't I tell you I only deal with the best? At Riz, of course.
You guessed it. AI-generated dialogue.
9.
Risk. Basically Men's Warehouse with brain damage.
Ziggies Boutique, where the fashions are right. Ziggies Boutique, that's right. All right. Ziggies Boutique, where the prices are right. Ziggies Boutique, that's right. All right.
If someone with ADHD wrote a jingle while on speed.
Ziggies Boutique, tops and swimwear, dresses are priced so right.
Ah yes, from the Potato Sack collection.
All right, Ziggies Boutique, won't you? All right.
Visit the only Ziggies Boutique on the corner of Griffin Road and University Drive in Davie.
Worst part is, I can totally hear Frank Zappa covering that jingle.
Lucky Lady, open 10 a.m. to 5 a.m. every day.
Interesting hours.
Lucky Lady, cock rings fitted.
Well, I guess that does count as jewelry.
121 West 45th Street.
I don't even want to know what the fitting process is for such a thing. And yes, there's a Badcock joke in there somewhere too. I tell you, just when you thought Archive couldn't sink any lower. Well, that's it for today's Archive. Join me next time when I retire from making Oddity Archive and open up that Ford dealership I've always wanted to own. You know, with the cars that freeze. Because, you know, upper Midwest. Nobody's gonna get that joke, are they? I think my retirement is doomed already.
Have you heard the news going around today?
Ford starts in the 70s with the cars that freeze.
Courteous service, that's my game. Your satisfaction, that's our aim. For the very best deal that you can buy, get to
Ziggies Boutique, where the prices are right. Ziggies Boutique, that's right.
It's the going thing. Going really swing. It's the going thing.
I've got the lowest prices, and that's a fact. On quality
Cock rings.
This meeting's adjourned.